Welcome back to Vegas Live with Ninon. I'm Ninon, your host, and of course, you know we're down at the Mariposa restaurant in Las Vegas. I have Joe Shavira with me. Now, Joe is he's not new to the set at all, but he's going to be a co-host for this particular interview, and which is fascinating. Are you going to introduce our guest?
Sure, it's a pleasure to be on the Ninon Show, and here I am, excited in Vegas.
Absolutely. And your name again, young man?
Stan Shields.
Stan Shields. He's shielding the world.
That's right.
You know, I don't pre-interview, and that's why I don't even know his name. Stan, what do you do for a living?
I am you can put me in that digital marketer umbrella, but I'm really working with small business owners to help them market their businesses on the internet.
Oh, really?
More effectively.
So is it just internet business, or is it a business that they can have? All right, I've got an example. Would it be like the Mariposa, like this restaurant? Would you market this and help them with this? Or is it strictly an online business?
It could be any kind of a business. It could be a restaurant.
It could be a working business.
Absolutely.
Physically.
Absolutely.
Oh, so you could actually do some PR for this restaurant?
Potentially.
Potentially.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I love the word. What do you mean by potentially?
Because you
what does it mean, Joe?
Well, you use the word PR, and I don't do PR per se.
Oh, okay.
Right?
So we'll drop that one.
So I do much more along the lines of marketing automation. Now, that's a phrase that a lot of people say, well, what does that really mean? Right? Marketing automation.
And I'm one of them.
And it could be, marketing automation could be anything from email marketing, text message marketing. For instance, somebody comes to Mariposa's website,
yes,
and ideally on that website you want to have something that captures their attention and gets them to leave their name, their email, and their phone number, so that Mariposa starts to build a mailing list.
Yes.
Right?
And when they build a mailing list and they build an address, and then people want to come and see what they have had, which is they have Mexico. This is a Mexican cuisine, but they also have a happy hour, which is amazing. They also have a band that comes in. I don't know, probably weekends, definitely. Right, Joe? Do you know? They do have a band on the weekends?
Yeah, I think they do over here. It just adds to that flavor of more business, too. When did you start?
When did I start?
Yeah, when did you start the...
Basically, at the end of 2016, when I sold my martial arts business. So for 15 years prior to that, I had a martial arts business. That was my primary thing. And
what was that, karate and all that stuff?
Well, yes and no. It was Taekwondo was my core martial art, but we also taught Krav Maga. We had a kickboxing program.
Wow.
We had a why am I drawing a blank? MMA program.
Awesome, awesome.
So you're sensei.
Yes. That's the Japanese term, but yes.
So do you prefer what you're doing to what you were doing with the martial arts, or you like doing what you're doing now?
You know, they're
totally
just so
different.
They're just very different.
Yes.
They're just very different. The martial arts business is very unique in that you have a direct impact on people's lives.
Yes, you do.
Children, adults. I mean,
did you like that? That's kind of a bit of responsibility, isn't it?
Absolutely. I loved it, actually. It was great. But it's like any other kind of a business where you can, if you don't handle it correctly, you can get burned out with it and so forth. And that's kind of what happened. That was all in Denver. And I have a daughter who lives here.
Okay.
And she had to go have a baby, which meant a granddaughter.
Right, there you go.
And I kind of wanted her to know who her grandfather was, right? And not just from FaceTime or seeing it on a computer screen.
You're in real life.
So I sold it. So I sold it and moved to Las Vegas. And
do you like it? Do you like Las Vegas?
Yeah, Las Vegas is okay. It's not my favorite place. I don't love it.
Oh. I don't have a remark about that because it's one of my very favorite places because I kind of know everybody. Well, you're new to Joe. Joe's very new to Vegas, and that's why Joe's very, very well known, as you know from our previous interviews. But Joe now is coming on my show. We're giving him some exposure out there and let everybody know who he is. He has the most fabulous voice. singing
Oh,
voice
thank you.
and band, and he's an incredible writer, songwriter, and so I got all this talent up here and what's going on. So he's sort of,
See, he's what I wanted to be. Because
Oh, do you want to switch seats?
I think it takes a little more than that.
Ninon's good.
I was just wondering whether I was.
She's very quick-witted.
Well, we're going to keep everybody in the loop. I'm still in the loop. Are you two in the loop still?
If we can switch seats and that gives me his musical ability, okay.
I'm a second-degree black belt in Kempo.
Whoa,
At
there
a
we
dojo,
go.
So just interesting.
There we go.
I'm a third degree.
We have a lot in common.
I'm a third degree.
Yeah.
You have a thought degree?
No. I have a third degree too. As well.
Oh, you said fourth degree.
No, I said third degree.
Okay.
Yes, and he believes me.
I'm going to take your word for it. I don't know.
I love you. You've got a great sense of humor. I like that. So how well are you doing with this marketing? Let's get back to his marketing. How well are you doing with this marketing?
It's coming along. It's getting better. Every year gets better. Right? And
then
I
you had
learned,
to go through the pandemic, which was probably didn't hurt you at all, because it's mostly what you do. I know what. You're one of these people that I get the emails. I can get you out there, all your emails, and I can get. Is that what you do? Send out, and I can get you on an email list.
No, I don't do that with people per se. What
per
I
se,
do
but
more.
he does it another way.
Well, what I do more of is we figure out what are really your strengths. What is it? Who's your ideal customer? And what is it that you can do to help them? And how do we draw them to?
Okay. All right, you've got a big thing going on here. Okay. All right.
Yeah, sounds good.
Joe, doesn't that sound good? And now I've
Excellent.
got a proposition. I'm going to ask you a real question.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so I have a internet TV talk show. Duh. And it's been going on for 7 years. And we want to get sponsors, marketing people, and everything like that. How do you do that? Not how do I do that. How do you do that? How would you do that for me?
That is a loaded question, right?
Yeah.
So first of all, one of the big keys is who is your ideal customer?
My ideal customer is from 35 to 45. That's the majority of people that watch my show. So there's your
It's got to
answer
go
for that.
deeper than that.
Well,
What are they like? Who are they? What are their characteristics? So age is one demographic.
This is all on the internet, so how would I possibly know that?
Oh, you can figure that out. Who are the people?
Oh, great.
Who?
I got more. All right, now I got another one for you. Hang in a second. We're getting there, right, Joe?
Yes.
Okay, I have more. I wonder why. I have more men. I have more men watch the show than I do women.
Okay, see, so now that drives a little deeper.
Okay, now so he instigated that, so I got the answer. Now, keep going.
That drives a little bit deeper. But now,
Getting there.
what else about those men, right? And so,
Well, I
are
haven't
those?
personally got involved with any of them, and I personally don't know who they all are, but I know I do get a lot of messages come through from all different men from all over the world of, how are you today, and can I have your phone number, and I get all sorts of stuff. I get all sorts of stuff.
That's marketing.
So yeah, is this marketing?
A different kind of marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a different kind of marketing. I think
Different
I might be
kind of
on.
marketing,
I think I might be on the wrong avenue. All right, go ahead.
What is it that they like about the show?
Maria, what do they like about the show?
Her energy.
They like my. There you are. You can answer that.
Yes.
All right,
Mhm.
Joe will
Vibrant
answer that.
energy, and it's a pleasure to work with her. She's like a female Robin Williams. She's so quick-witted, and this is
That's
my
what he
first
thinks.
hosting show with her, and it's fun. And this is a great guest.
Yes, isn't he lovely? Yes, he's
Yeah.
perfect for what we want.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's
You're
perfect.
perfect for what we want. Now, would you take me on as an unpaying client?
That's a conversation we could have in the future.
How far forward in the future? Or how close in the future?
I don't know. Maybe even right after we get
Oh,
off
right
the air.
after get off,
it's-
the capture. Oh, we capture you. There's a lovely booth here. We can capture
yeah,
you.
that's right.
Don't I
That's
sound
right.
bad? No, I'm not. Joe Mania, by the way, I've given him a new name, Joe Mania, right?
Right,
So
in
Joe-
Vegas, and I like it.
You like it?
Yes, I love it.
Joe Mania?
Joe Mania.
He loves Joe Mania. Well, who doesn't want Joe Mania? Look at how good looking he is. I mean, Nina, behave yourself. Nina, behave yourself. I'll behave myself, I promise.
I love
I have no idea what the Joe Mania reference is, but
Neither
that's
do
okay.
I.
Oh, you don't either?
I don't know.
Yeah, and you're saying it?
Yeah, I've named him Joe Mania because I want everybody in Vegas to know Joe. So they've all got to
Right.
come under the category of Joe Mania.
Okay.
So what about you?
Well,
Do you want to
that's
be a
good.
mania?
No.
it. Market Media.
Market
There
Mania.
you go.
there you
That
go,
might
right?
not be bad.
So why can't we call you Market Mania?
Oh, you could.
See? So I've got another mania.
I'm easily convinced, apparently.
All right, back to your business.
Mhm.
How do you manage to get customers and a clientele? Oh, by being on Vegas Live with Ninon. There's your answer.
Well,
I'm
first,
being bad today.
there's numerous ways. However, it does come down to who is the ideal customer, what's the message you're trying to get to them, and where are they? Where are they hanging out? So
Okay.
that you then have to go to wherever they're hanging out and now give them a reason to come talk to
Okay,
you.
well, Vegas Live with Ninon is hanging out
Okay.
at Mariposa Restaurant, and we're on the corner of Sahara and Decatur, right?
Correct.
And we film here every Wednesday from 2 to 4 o'clock, sometimes longer, sometimes shorter, but this is where we film every time. You can have drinks here, you can have food here, you can have me, you've got everything here. And then you've also got Joe Mania and Marketing
Market
Mania.
Market Media.
Market Mania. New name for him. How can anybody reach you?
Best way, I just created a site that would be perfect for this, and now I'm like totally drawing a blank on what this site is.
Oh, no. Well, let's try the other site then. How many sites do you have?
I have a lot of sites.
Oh, well,
Actually,
let's-
the best one is
let's
this.
have one.
I want freeprospects.com.
Free prospect.
I want.
I want. Free. I want. I like that. I want. Freeprospects.com. Awesome.
And that should be easy to remember, right?
I think so. Joe, you want to ask me anything else? You want to
Yeah, I think it's great what you got going. You do like a demographic breakdown because you're asking like, what is the audience age from? It's 35 to, I think she said
45.
45.
Yeah, that's kind of.
I
And
kind of
then-
personally believe it's a little bit more broad because she's self-analyzing herself,
Mhm.
but I see it outside the box, and
Yes.
her ability to have people like you and artists, it's so broad. I don't really think there's a demographic for age, but I know that you're saying that it's a good breakdown to find out who she's trying to hit, and then you could.
Well, I'm trying to hit
Make an
everybody.
assumption.
I mean, I'm trying to reach
Right, yeah,
everybody. So when you answer that question, by the way, there are females, which is a lot, big percentage. There are males that are, I think, 65%. There's females, I think, of 50 or 55. And then you've got the different, you've got Las Vegas, and then you've got California, and then you've got India. So you've got all these different demographics. So when you ask a question like that, and I love that you clarified that point, Joe,
Right.
because it's totally different to just 35 to 45.
Right.
It's a whole, but there's different percentages, put it that way.
Think about this. You,
Oh, I
you
have to
said
think.
a phrase
Yes.
that is very important to be aware of it, and that is, who am I trying to reach? I'm trying to reach everybody.
Yes,
When we're talking to everybody,
yes.
we're talking to nobody. So
You want a
Well,
specific.
that's
that in
very
mind.
contradictable. I hate to say that,
when you're
but that's so
speaking to everyone,
contradictable.
you're speaking to no one. So
Alright.
we have to be very clear about who our target is, and so that we get the language right. Think about this. The language for a 25-year-old is very different than the language for a 65-year-old.
Well, I would hope
Right.
so.
And so, but that's giving you a drastic.
Well,
That
here's a
is
good
very
question.
drastic.
Knowing how good she is at hosting,
Mhm.
and this is specifically a TV show,
Yes.
what would you think, just by an assumption, now her marketability is better at 35 to 45, or do you say what do you say would be a good age?
I say it depends on who she appeals to, right? And so that could be, and that's where you have to look at the numbers. You just have to look at the data and see.
All right, Maria,
And
let
so
me ask you a
she
question.
says-
I'm going to ask my producer a question. I know
Okay.
this interview is got a little bit in left, right, whatever, but that's what the interviews are. That's what I do, and I don't care. Maria, you said we reached, what was it?
Altogether
Combined everything.
7 million.
7 million. We reached 7 million people out there. So just to clarify everything, to try to sort 7 million people out in this little brain up here, which is quite large, it's not bad, it still works. Does yours still work?
Love it. Good energy.
Does yours still work?
There you go.
So when you're reaching 7 million people and you've got to cap that down, I think I don't have a business, I have a show, and I think it's a little different of how it is marketed. It's like I mentioned India, China, they see it. England, a lot of people from England, there's big percentage in England, big percentage in Paris. So there's all these different percentages of all, when we talk about, because we're talking worldwide.
Sure.
So people say, well, what state are you in? And I said, what do you mean, what state am I in? State of confusion. No, sorry.
Can I say something?
Yes, you can. You tell me and I'll tell them.
56% is in the United States of our demographic.
56% is in the United States of watching our show. 56. My ratings are higher than the President of the United States. Should I brag about that? Maybe yes. Maybe yes.
So, saying that you shouldn't speak to everyone isn't saying that you won't hit that
Everyone,
large
yes.
group of people. But if you're clear about who you're talking to
Yes.
and you have the right message for them, you pull more of them in, but you'll still pull in others.
All the others, yes.
You'll
yes,
still
absolutely.
pull others in.
See, that's the
but
marketing
it helps
side of
from
it.
a clarity standpoint
Yes.
of messaging. What is it that I'm saying? What am I doing? Who are my guests? All of those
And
kinds
you're
of things come into
100%
play.
right, and I'll tell you why. Because when somebody comes up and they say, well, I want to be part of Vegas Live with Ninon. We have a lot of partners, obviously a lot of people out there, not percentage partners. And they all want to know what are these figures, and what's this, and what's that, and what's everything. And they need to know what it is. And that's one of they really don't talk about the show. I guess they've seen the show, otherwise they wouldn't be interested.
Mm-hmm.
So then they want to find out exactly what you're saying.
That's right. Is it the
He's
right
right, isn't he?
market for them?
Yeah.
Is it the
It's
right
great
market for
demographics.
them? Right. So,
Now, I'm going to ask, now you met up with a very famous singer.
Yes.
And before that, what was his name?
Trini Lopez.
Trini Lopez.
He worked
He
with
met
Sinatra.
up with Trini Lopez, and Trini Lopez and Sinatra were very good friends. And before that, but when you met up with Trini Lopez and you started hanging out with that group, your ratings and everything went flying up high, right?
Right.
Yes. And I'm not saying that's because he didn't have the personality or the sing. He did, because that's why Trini Lopez tagged on to you, because you were the greatest, still are the greatest writer, singer, and the whole bit. But you had all this background. But because of Trini Lopez, it upped his
market
ante.
influence.
Marketing. I'm learning so much, and I'm giving it all to you out there, everybody. I'm learning so much, and I'm giving it to you out there for free. Why not? That's what we do. That's what we do. So what we do, so we can get this out there. He's looking at me cross-eyed. Looking at me like,
Like what? I didn't understand that. Say what?
yeah, you understood it. You understand every single thing because you always come back. What do you think of this whole conversation?
It's great because this is the show, live Ninon, and then we have this guest that's marketing expert, and
Yes.
that's the whole principle I think of Ninon, is to project a wider audience. And then here we have a marketing owner director
Guru,
that
yeah.
could break things down, and that's a great assessment I think of. It's like a toy when you make a toy and have an intellectual property. They always say, what's the demographics that you're shooting at for that kid? So in alliance to that, that's a great response for Ninon. What's the average age that she's shooting at?
Yes. And then when we get into it and you keep asking these different questions, like, oh,
Right.
hang on a second, I got that out. I have all the answers, obviously. It's just a matter of thinking
Right.
them all. And also my producer, she knows a lot of the answers and everything else, because she has to know that, obviously. So now, how did you like your first interview as a co-host?
I love it. This is fantastic to be on the best show in Vegas and have a great guest. Thank you, and Ninon, definitely. Thank you so much.
Isn't it great?
And you
Yes.
too.
I love
Awesome.
it. Thank you.
Awesome.
One last guess.
We have one more guest, actually. I was going to say this is the end, but it's never the end, because when there's an end, there's also a beginning. Whether it's today, tomorrow, or whenever it is, there's one end and then there's a beginning. Thank you for watching Vegas Live with Ninon. Mariposa, this restaurant, please bless you. Somebody does sneeze to bless what I was saying. You know, when somebody sneezes, they bless you. I don't know if that's true or not, but I made it up. We'll be right back with our next guest. Take care.